Hi, my name is Joe Hammontree and I'm with the MSU Extension Office in Shiawassee County. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to cut up a chicken from whole into its individual pieces. Okay, so we have our chicken, and there's a couple different ways you can cut up a chicken. And the way that I'm going to do it is just in the way of one of our curriculums. So feel free to do this anyway, but you want to prep the chicken first. And inside the chicken, you're going to have some pieces, the heart, the lungs, the liver. So you want to pull those out. And some people will save those, some people throw them away. You might have a neck in there. This all might be in a bag or it might be separate, but we're going to pull those out. And then I like to use kitchen scissors to just cut away a little bit of this extra skin to get it out of the way. It's not going to hurt it at all. And to start, there's a couple different ways you can do this. I like to start, and you can see my chicken must have gotten a little bit of a fight because he's missing an arm here. But I like to start by cutting a couple different places. You might be able to see this here, but there's a white line that follows here and on this side as well. And that's a fat line, and the chicken is pretty much giving you an idea of where to make your cuts at. The knife, we sharpened our knives pretty recently, so this is a pretty sharp knife that we're going to use. And I just do small cuts just to open up both sides of this chicken. And I'm a lefty, so I'll probably be backwards from some of you, but that's okay. So you can now see our chicken's kind of spread out a little bit. We're doing some chicken yoga. We've got them spread out. That just gives us a good base to work at. And then I like to take the breast off the chicken first. The legs help me keep the breast up a little bit, and we're going to take these off later. To do this, we're just going to make a small incision right down the center. And when you do that, you can get your finger in there, and the chicken has a breastbone right in the middle. So as you do this, your knife is going to go towards one side or the other of that breastbone. And you can see I'm starting to go towards one side. So I just make small cuts, keeping my fingers out of the way. And every now and then I'll stop and just pull this chicken. This bone is curved, so you're gonna follow that curve with the knife. Now for me, we're gonna use this chicken later on down the road, so we'll freeze this. But the carcass we're going to cook for soup and stock, so I don't mind a little bit of meat left on there. So that's okay. So then we get down to the bottom here. Again, we're just making small cuts. I'm going to turn it to the side. And that's one of our pieces. Now you can have a little bowl setting aside to put your pieces in, or you can have another plate or another cutting board. I'm going to set mine off to the side just for a minute though. We're going to mirror the opposite side. You can turn the chicken around. I like to turn the chicken around just so I can see what I'm doing. And again, just small cuts will get you all the way down through there. And there's our second breast. On the inside of each one of these breasts is this little skinny piece here, and we can actually just pull it off with our thumb, but that's the chicken tenderloin. So that's what we're looking at in grocery stores when you see chicken tenderloins. So chicken breast, chicken tenderloin, and I like to leave the skin on if at all possible. It'll hold in the moisture when you're cooking it. It'll help keep from freezer burn if you're freezing it. So that's our chicken and our chicken tenderloins. We have two of those. I'm just going to set these in my bowl to get them out of the way. Now again, we're going to cook this roast. We're gonna roast this, and we're going to cook it up for some chicken stock. And what I like is these little bits of pieces left over as I boil it. I'll make chicken salad or chicken soup or anything that I can get all these pieces out of. The next step is the legs and the thighs. So these in the grocery stores are the leg quarter sections, which right now at the grocery stores, we're seeing a lot of empty shelves, and the cut up chicken is always way more expensive. If you can buy a whole chicken, this one was only a couple dollars. It's so much better. Now again, we've cut this leg off. What I like to do is turn the chicken on its side and just go straight down the leg until you feel that bone. And then again on the other side. So what there is there's this bone, and if it's easier, you can cut this little skin out here so you can see. I'll do that so you can have a better view. What we're looking at is there's a bone right in here. You can kind of see it, but I'm going to put my hands underneath this chicken thigh, my thumb on top, and just crack that bone. That's right where we're going to cut, and now we have the leg and the thigh all separate. So we're going to do that on the other side. Again, I like to hold the chicken, kind of let the chicken hold the carcass. Down one side, down the other, pop that bone, and cut right through. So now we have 2 legs and 2 thighs. We're going to cut those up in just a minute. The last thing we have here is the wing. And if you do a simple cut all the way around this wing, the bone is in there. You find the bone, cut between it, and now you have one wing off. And I said, my little chicken friend got in a fight here because he's only got a drumette. He doesn't have a wing. But again, we'll just cut that open, find that between the cartilage of the bone, and there we go. Now, some people will cut the backbone out of this, and they can use that. You can roast it, you can cook it, you can boil it. I'm going to boil all this as one piece. So I'm going to save this for later. Let me set this aside. This is where these little pieces of paper towel come in handy. You want to keep your area kind of cleaned up as you go along. And I have a trash bucket right here, so that works out really well for me. So now here we have a single drum, and then here we have the drumette and the wingtip. The wingtip you can kind of cut right through, so we have that separate. And again here, we're going to cut right down the center, just cutting through that piece of fat. And then when we get to that bone, we're just going to cut through the cartilage. And now we have a couple of those. Same thing with the leg and the thigh. Again, there's a little strip of fat through here that you might not be able to see on the camera, but we can see it here. But as we cut through this, just small cuts, we're going to just pop that open. And as soon as you can see it, we're going to cut right around that. And again, this is just one way to cut up a chicken. I know there are hundreds of different ways. This is what we teach in one of our cooking classes, so that people can get fully cooked chicken. Now again, we'll have 2 tenderloins. We'll have 2 breasts, 2 legs, 2 thighs. We should have 2 drumettes, 2 wings, and 2 wingtips, but mine's not quite there. These breasts you can also cut into smaller pieces if you would like. So, if you're feeding a family of 4, a whole chicken goes pretty far. And like I said, this chicken was a couple dollars at the grocery store. It was actually cheaper for me to buy it like this and cut it up. And once you get the hang of this, you can do this in about a minute and a half. It's pretty quick. The only last thing that you'll want to do is if you're cooking these chicken tenderloins, there's a small white vein that runs through these. And this, you can cut this out. If you got a pair of kitchen pliers, you can cut it out. But you do want to take that out just because it doesn't cook up very well. It's kind of chewy. So if you can get it with your fingers, we'll pull that out. And so that's what that looks like. It's just a little white, sinewy piece of skin. Thank you for watching this video. For more information, you can find us on Facebook under My Health Matters, at the MSU Extension website, or on YouTube under My Health Matters.